All right, well, now it is time to talk about the big Thursday night showdown for the second consecutive week. Virginia Tech Hokies are playing on a Thursday night, and they take on the Pitt Panthers, a team that has been a thorn in the side of Virginia Tech, to put it mildly. Uh, Now, the all-time series between the two schools is 8-7. All right, that seems like it's pretty even. However, between 1993 and 2000, Virginia Tech had 7 wins and 1 loss. What does that tell you? Recent history has been terrible, absolutely atrocious for the Hokies. So, looking at what more recent history, all right, we're talking about last year, losing the Pitt in Blacksburg. The year before, losing at Pitt. And mind you, Pitt has never lost to Virginia Tech at Heinz Field. So, uh, I in particular remember the game back in 2012 where it was just one of the most flat and uninspiring Hokie performances ever. That's in the past. It's over and done with, but there seems to be some sort of enigma as to why the Hokies cannot play well in Pittsburgh, at least in recent history. So, looking here, Pitt has won 6 of the last 7 games. And, for the Hokies, that's just simply unacceptable. This is a must-win game. Like Bud Foster said, it is not a want-to-win game, it is a need-to-win game. The winner of this game, I believe, gets a clear path to the Coastal Division title. So, the Hokies are riding high, building off that momentum of a resounding victory over Miami last week. And, Pittsburgh, they are also, like Virginia Tech, 5-2 overall, 2-1 in the conference. And, they had extra time to prepare because they were idle last week. And they're coming off a 3-game winning streak, their most recent wins over Marshall, Georgia Tech, and UVA. And, the Pitt is going to present some challenges. The biggest challenge will be stopping James Conner. And this will be the only time that I ever root against James Conner because he is just an incredible human being. What a fantastic story. I mean, we're talking about someone who battled and beat Hodgkin's lymphoma, not only beat it, came back on the football field, came back without fear, just a courageous human being. And he's had a wonderful season, putting up All-American numbers, potentially 531 yards rushing, 7 touchdown runs. 7 touchdown runs in just 6 games. Wonderful, wonderful player. It's going to be tough to stop him. That's going to be a battle of strength versus strength. Virginia Tech's strong run defense versus Pitt's strong running game. So, Pitt's quarterback, Nathan Peterman, is not really asked to do as much as playmaking quarterbacks like Gerard Evans. Peterman has 11 touchdowns and 2 interceptions so far this season. Same number of picks as Gerard Evans. The big difference, though, is that Evans has 19 touchdown passes. And, Evans obviously much more of a dynamic threat. But, so looking at Pitt, I think the first focus has to be slowing down James Conner. Looking at things on the other side of the ball, Virginia Tech has, of course, a dynamic offense. Last week it was very refreshing to see the running back get back up and running. Trayvon McMillan had a big game, did not score a touchdown, but he had 130 yards rushing, and to date he has 458 yards and 3 touchdowns. I think there will be plenty of carries to go around between Trayvon McMillan, of course, the power back of Marshawn Williams, and Justin Fuente's favorite, it seems, Sam Rogers. Although I would like to see Rogers more involved in the passing game and less involved in the running game because the talented backs are there, the more agile, speedy, just more playmaking ability you'll find with McMillan and Marshawn Williams. So, with the way things have been playing out in this balanced offense, Gerard Evans doesn't need to key in on one guy. Yes, Isaiah Ford is going to go down as the best Virginia Tech wide receiver of all time in all likelihood when all is said and done. As of now, he has 36 catches for 505 yards and 5 touchdowns, although he had a very quiet game last week. He commanded so much attention from the Miami secondary, and that really enabled Cam Phillips and Bucky Hodges to have great games. You know, Bucky Hodges had 2 touchdown grabs, fantastic performance from him in particular. So, you know, the Panthers are not going to be able to key in on any one guy. Conversely, Virginia Tech will want to key in on one particular Pitt Panther, and that is Ewan Price. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's either Ewan or Ejuan. At any rate, he leads the country in sacks with 9 so far. However, Pitt's pass defense ranks 122nd in the country, so that suggests that beyond Price, they do not have necessarily the strongest depth along the defensive line. So, you know, assuming that Price can be contained, maybe you have to throw some extra double teams at him, or, you know, have a running back there to chip block. They're going to do what it takes. I'm sure they'll have a quality game plan ready for that. So, you know, it's going to be a hard-fought game. You know, both these teams are good at getting it done in the red zone. You know, Pittsburgh is going to present challenges there because they're very efficient in the red zone. You know, their quarterback does not make many mistakes like Gerard Evans. So, you know, it's going to be certainly not an easy game by any means. Anytime you go on the road in the ACC, it's going to be a battle. And so Virginia Tech needs to win this game to maintain pole position, or better yet, attain pole position, let's be honest, in the Coastal Division. You know, barring a huge letdown, a win means that Virginia Tech is going to take this division and make it to the ACC title game, which would be a wonderful accomplishment for Justin Fuente's first year in charge. So with that, I'm calling this game to be pretty healthy scoring. I'm taking Virginia Tech to win by a score of 34-27. And for those who have passed and for those to come, reach for excellence.